Hey guys, happy Sunday. Even if you're not watching this on Sunday, today we're preparing Sunday lunch, Sunday dinner, and it's gonna be delicious. So today we're making barbecue ribs. We're also gonna be making some curried stewed chicken wings, and we're going to be pairing this with some spinach rice, some boiled corn, and my favorite to pair with my Sunday meals, coleslaw. So let's get started on this delicious recipes. Alright you guys, so I'm starting by making my coleslaw first so that all the flavors can marinate with each other while it's resting in the fridge until we're ready to eat our Sunday dinner. So in a bowl, I'm grating about 2 cups of shredded cabbage. You want about 2 cups of shredded cabbage. So I'm grating some cabbage, 1 carrot, 1 clove of garlic, a little piece of onion, and you're gonna mix all of that together. So for the garlic and the onion, you want to mince it really small. All right, so finely grate it. Okay, so next I'm gonna add in a little bit of salt in the coleslaw and also sprinkle in some sugar. Then I'm gonna add in my mayonnaise, and you want to mix all of the ingredients together. Taste the coleslaw and see if you need to adjust the salt, if you need a little bit more sugar in there or more mayo. Okay, for the mayonnaise, when you're adding it, basically you're gonna add as much as you like, because some people like their coleslaw more creamy, some people don't like that much mayo in it. All right, so it all depends on your preference. And then yeah, you guys just taste the coleslaw, make sure it's perfect before you cover it. And once it's perfect, you're gonna cover it, put it in the refrigerator, let it chill until we're ready to eat. And that's it. Very simple and absolutely delicious, you guys. So next I'm gonna start making my barbecue ribs. So I'm not making much ribs today because I'm basically just making it for myself today. So I'm using about 5 pieces of ribs. You could double the recipe if you need to. And what you want to do is place your ribs on your baking dish. Make sure you spray the baking dish with some non-stick cooking spray before you place it on there, and then drizzle in some oil on top of the ribs. Okay, so this I do it to help the seasoning stick on the ribs. Okay, so after you put the oil in the ribs on a separate bowl, you're gonna make a dry rub. So in the dry rub, I put the following seasoning: ground cumin, salt, black pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, paprika, coriander, a little bit of cloves, some brown sugar of course, Cajun seasoning, and a little bit of beef bouillon powder. So I mix all of those ingredients together. So make sure you rub all over each piece of the rib. Make sure it's fully covered in the dry rub. Okay, so once you finish rubbing down the ribs, you're gonna cover it with some foil paper, and I like to place it in my refrigerator and let it marinate for about 1 hour. And after the 1 hour, you're gonna just take the ribs out and place it in the oven. So preheat your oven to 325 degrees and place the ribs in the oven covered. Leave it covered with the foil paper and let it bake for 1 hour. So if you're making a little bit of ribs like I did, then in 1 hour to an hour and a half, you're gonna take it out. If you're making more ribs than me, so if you're making a rack of ribs, you're gonna leave it and let it bake for about 2 hours covered. Okay guys, so while the ribs is baking, taking its time and cooking, I'm gonna get started on the curry stewed chicken. Okay, so you don't have to use chicken wings, you can use your favorite part of the chicken, but I love chicken wings, so today we're using that. So I already seasoned my chicken wings. I'll list all the seasonings I used here, and I'm also adding in some curry powder. So I use green seasoning, onion powder, garlic powder, salt, black pepper, paprika, ground cumin, the usual basics that I use to season my meat, and I let it marinate overnight. All right, that adds so much flavor into the chicken, so if you have time, let it marinate overnight. So next, once your chicken is perfectly seasoned, you're gonna get your pot you're cooking the chicken in and add a little bit of oil and let the pan get nice and hot. So if you never made curry stewed chicken before, it's basically what the title suggests, is curry chicken and stewed chicken together as one, and it tastes pretty good. All right, so once the oil is nice and hot, I'm gonna add in my sugar and a little bit of curry powder. So next, just mix the sugar and the curry powder together in with the oil and let that cook until the sugar starts turning a deep brown color. Okay, so you want the sugar to turn a nice brown color, and after that I'm gonna half cover my pot. This is to prevent my stove from getting too dirty when I add in the water, all right, because it's gonna splash a little bit. So add in just a little bit of water, not too much, about 1/4 of a cup of water, and then you're gonna uncover the pot. Once it sizzles down a little, give the pot a stir, and then we're gonna add in the chicken. All right, so add in the chicken and then cover the pot and let it cook for about 10 minutes without doing anything to it. So after the 10 minutes, I'm gonna uncover the pot and I'm gonna season up my chicken a little bit more. I'm gonna add some ketchup, and I added some minced garlic, some finely diced pimento peppers, and some freshly minced ginger. So add those seasoning into the pot, give it a good stir, and if you need to add more water into the chicken, you can. Okay, and after this, I'm basically gonna leave the chicken, let it take its time and cook. So mine took about 35 to 40 minutes. Chicken wings don't take that long to cook, and once it's tender and soft and almost falling off the bone, you're basically finished. Just remember, before the chicken is finished cooking, taste it and make sure the seasoning tastes just right. I also add in some chicken bouillon powder in my chicken to give it flavor, so you could add some of that in there. Adjust the salt if you need to, and that's basically it, you guys. For the last 5 minutes of cooking, I like to add in some freshly chopped cilantro, and then I turn off the stove and my curry stewed chicken is finished. All right, and that's it. We're finished making the curry stewed chicken, so just set it aside until we're ready to eat. Okay, so now I'm gonna get started on my rice. So today I'm making spinach rice. This rice has so much flavor in it. I'm just roughly chopping up some baby spinach. So I'm using baby spinach, and you don't have to chop it up really fine, just roughly chop it up. And in this bowl, I diced up some onion, minced a few cloves of garlic, and some pimento peppers. Okay, so I'm gonna get my pot that I'm cooking my rice in, and once it's nice and hot, I added a little bit of oil into the pot. Next, I'm gonna add in the onion, pimento peppers, and garlic, and I'm gonna let that cook for about 2 to 3 minutes until the onions soften and they start to caramelize just a little bit. Then I'm gonna add in my spinach, give the spinach a mix into the rest of the ingredients, and then I'm gonna add in my rice. So I'm using regular long grain white rice. All right, so after I add the rice in the pot, I'm gonna mix it in with the rest of the ingredients, and then I'm gonna add in some coconut milk and water mixed together. So now it's time to add in the liquid. And for cooking this rice, for 1 cup of rice, I do 2 cups of liquid. If you're doing 2 cups of rice, then you're gonna do 4 cups of liquid, and so on. Okay, so add in 1 can of coconut milk. The coconut milk was about a cup and a half, so then I added half a cup of water into that. All right, so I hope you guys understand that. And next, you're gonna season the rice a little bit. So I like to season mine with some chicken bouillon powder. It adds good flavor, give it a try, and a little bit of salt. If you don't want to use chicken bouillon powder, or you don't have it on hand, you can use onion and garlic powder, salt, and black pepper to season the rice perfectly. Right, so mix everything together, and then you're gonna cover the pot and let it come to a boil over high heat. So once the pot starts to boil, you're gonna uncover it, give it 1 last stir, and let it cover it over low heat. Turn the heat down to the lowest setting and let the rice take its time and cook and steam until all of the liquid has absorbed and the rice is just perfectly cooked. Okay, and that's it. So simple to make, and this rice is delicious. Alright you guys, and now to make our last dish, and this one is so simple to make. So we're gonna make some yummy boiled corn. So I'm just gonna peel the corn and remove the skin, okay? And after I do that, you can wash it to remove any of that extra straw that's left on it. And I break my corn in half and cut out both ends. Then I'm gonna place the pieces of corn in a pot I have on the stove with water. Alright, so we're gonna let the pot come to a boil, and when you place the corn in the pot, you want to put a few tablespoons of butter and also some salt. So once the pot comes to a boil, you're gonna let it cook for about 10 minutes. Let the corn cook for 10 minutes and turn it off, you guys. So simple. And who don't love some boiled corn? Like, so delicious. So remove it from the water, place it in a bowl, and then add a few tablespoons of butter on top each piece of the corn. And then I like to sprinkle it with a little bit of freshly chopped parsley, and enjoy the boiled corn just like that. Alright, so we're gonna set that aside too now that our corn is finished, and let's just finish up the ribs, and then we get to enjoy Sunday's dinner. Alright you guys, so I just removed the ribs from the oven, and I'm gonna uncover it now. Remove the foil paper. I'm gonna flip the ribs to the other side. Okay, right, so I'm flipping it to the other side. As you can see, it's already tender and falling off the bone, which is just perfect. So today I'm using this barbecue sauce. It's a sticky and sweet barbecue sauce, and you just want to pour that all over the ribs and cover the ribs with the barbecue sauce and place it back into the oven for 1 more hour to finish cooking. Okay, so like I said, this recipe didn't take long for me because I wasn't cooking that much ribs. So after I put it back into the oven, it was ready in maybe about 40 minutes. It didn't take that long at all, 30 to 40 minutes. So yeah you guys, dredge it with your favorite barbecue sauce, place it into the oven, same temperature, and let it finish cooking. Once it's nice and tender and falling off the bones, your ribs is finished and you can enjoy. And just like that, we're finished making today's dinner. Who's ready to eat? Because I am. Okay, and here's our dinner today: curry stewed chicken, some barbecue ribs that's falling off the bone, boiled corn, coleslaw, and some spinach rice. So now I'm just gonna make myself a plate and then enjoy my dinner, you guys. Make sure you put a little bit of everything on your plate. Enjoy. And just because I made this on Sunday don't mean you can make it any day of the week when you just want a delicious plate of food, comfort food to enjoy. Okay, so thank you guys so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed the tutorials and these recipes. If you give any of it a try, let me know in the comments down below how it turned out. Thank you guys so much for supporting, and as usual, I'll see you next time. Bye.